Hi friends, welcome back. If you're craving pancakes but you're not sure what kind, you're in the right place. Today I'm sharing classic pancake recipes. Everything from fluffy buttermilk pancakes, crepes, to savory pancakes you can have for dinner. This list is perfect for pancake lovers or if you're looking for something to serve on Pancake Day. Pancakes are probably one of my family's favorite breakfast recipes. We make it almost every weekend, and I'm pretty sure my kids by now could probably make a pancake recipes from start to finish without my help at all. First up, we're making fluffy buttermilk pancakes. These are the classic diner style pancakes. Golden, fluffy, and soft.
This is the all-time favorite pancake recipe at my house.
Now, if you want to make this recipe and you don't really use buttermilk or you don't have any buttermilk on hand, you can absolutely still make this recipe. Two of my favorite ways to make quick and easy buttermilk without running to the store is to either mix together milk and yogurt or to mix together milk and some sort of acid like lemon juice or vinegar.
To make the buttermilk substitution using yogurt, I'm just going to pour a half cup of milk into a measuring cup. Then I'm going to scoop in another half cup of plain yogurt. Then I'm just going to give everything a stir until the yogurt mixes smoothly into the milk. Then this simple buttermilk substitution is ready to get used into your favorite recipe. And for the other method of making buttermilk substitution, I'm going to grab 1 cup of plain milk and then I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. But you could also swap the lemon juice out for vinegar. And as you can see here, even after a few minutes, the lemon juice has started to change the milk. And now that you have your buttermilk substitution ready, or if you already have buttermilk on hand, we're ready to make the pancakes. In a large bowl, I'm going to beat together 2 eggs. I'm going to whisk in 1.5 cups of buttermilk and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Then I'm going to sprinkle in 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half teaspoon of salt. Finally, I'm going to whisk in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And as I'm whisking here, you can already start to see how light and airy this batter is.
For perfectly fluffy, soft pancakes, make sure you don't overmix the batter. A few little lumps and bumps is fine.
I'm just lightly folding the dry ingredients into the wet. I already have some pans preheated to medium-low heat.
I'm going to let the batter rest about 5 to 10 minutes just to let all the leaveners start to do their magic.
I'm just going to add a little bit of butter to the bottom of each pan. This is just going to give me those nice crisp golden edges, and it's going to make sure none of the batter sticks to the bottom of the pan. And since my batter is so light and fluffy, I don't want to disturb too many of the little bubbles inside. So I'm just going to give the top of the batter a really gentle swirl just to form that circular pancake shape. After about 2 minutes, you should start to see some bubbles break on the surface of the batter. And once the edges have just started to set and the underside is nice and golden, I'm going to flip my pancake over to the other side. And it should only take about 1 minute more to fully cook through. I'm just going to continue cooking the batter in the exact same way. And then these light and fluffy buttermilk pancakes are ready to serve with your favorite toppings. These pancakes are thick, light, and perfect for soaking up maple syrup. But we also love topping them with whipped cream, fresh fruit, and yogurt.
Next up, we're going to be making a classic crepe recipe, except for this is going to be made gluten-free. Crepes are just like pancakes, except they're thinner and usually stuffed with sweet or savory fillings.
To make this recipe, I need 3 tablespoons of melted butter. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to my pan while I'm making the rest of the batter. In a large bowl, whisk together 3 eggs. Add in 1 cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to whisk all these wet ingredients together until everything is smooth and incorporated. Now for regular crepes, you'd whisk in some all-purpose flour here. For the crepe batter made with flour, you're going to cover it and let it rest for about a half an hour before cooking it. But for this recipe, I'm going to be whisking in 3/4 cup of cornstarch instead. But for the cornstarch, there's no resting time required. So once the batter is mixed up, we can get to cooking them right away. Finally, to my batter, I'm going to whisk in that 1/4 cup of butter that we melted at the beginning. And since I melted it in the pan that I'm going to be cooking my crepes in, it's already greased and ready to go. Add about a 1/4 cup of the batter to the hot pan. Immediately swirl the pan to evenly coat the bottom with the batter. Let it cook about 1 to 2 minutes and then flip it over.
I'm going to make sure that the pan is nice and hot, and I'm going to just pour a very thin layer of batter on the pan.
And unlike pancakes, you're not going to notice all those little bubbles breaking on the surface of the batter to let you know it's ready to flip. But you will notice that the surface of the batter has turned from a liquid to a more set, smooth consistency. Then just gently tuck a little spatula underneath the crepe and flip it over to the other side. Let the second side cook about 1 minute more or until it's golden on the underside. I'm just going to set my cooked crepes aside onto a little platter here while I continue cooking the rest of the batter. And they're ready to serve warm with your favorite fillings. Pretty much the sky's the limit when it comes to sweet or savory fillings. But some classic choices are a little spread of preserves with some powdered sugar on top. And there's the popular Parisian style treat with Nutella spread inside. And I'm going to add some sliced bananas to mine. Some fresh thick cream and some fruit is another great breakfast option. And you can also fill these with your favorite savory fillings, like sliced meat and cheese, and serve them with a simple side salad.
Next up, we're making oatmeal pancakes. These are a heartier version of the typical pancake. They're made with all-purpose flour and oats mixed in.
The first thing I'm going to do for this recipe is prepare the oats. In a bowl, I have 1 cup of quick oats. I'm just going to pour on top 1 cup of very hot water and set it aside to let the oats soften. And to make these pancakes really light and fluffy, I'm going to separate the eggs. But this step is optional. To my large bowl, I'm going to crack in 2 egg yolks and set the 2 egg whites aside. To the bowl with the egg yolks, I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of oil. Lightly beat these together. And now to give my pancakes that added lift, I'm going to beat my egg whites. I'm using my stand mixer for this, but you could also use handheld beaters. I'm going to whisk them until they're light, fluffy, and they hold a stiff peak. Now to my batter, I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. And now that my oats are nice and soft, I can add these to the batter as well. Stir and mix these ingredients together until you have a smooth batter. Then finally, I'm going to fold in all those fluffy egg whites. I'm just going to very gently fold these into the batter. I just do this by gently scooping the batter from the bottom and folding it on top of the egg whites. I have my preheated medium-low griddle here that I'm just going to grease with a little bit of butter. But you could also use frying pans to cook this batter. I'm just going to pour my little round scoops of batter onto the griddle. And now that I can see some bubbles breaking on the surface and the sides are just starting to set, they're ready to flip over and cook on the other side.
These pancakes are great for meal prep if you want to freeze them and serve them hot during the week. Another great option is to mix something like fresh fruit or even chocolate chips into your pancake batter.
We love adding mix-ins to this pancake recipe. If you only have one thing to add in, you can go ahead and mix it right into the batter. But if you want to do multiple types of pancakes, then as soon as you pour the batter onto your griddle or frying pan, gently place your chocolate chips or your fresh fruit right on top of the batter. This is especially nice with fresh fruit because once you flip it over to cook on the other side, the fresh fruit gets nicely caramelized along with the other side of the pancake. And now these pancakes are ready to serve. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite type of pancake mix-in is. And as you can see, these hearty pancakes, even though they're made with oats, they're still soft and light and fluffy on the inside.
Next up, we're going to be making whole wheat sourdough pancakes. If you bake with sourdough, pancakes are one of the best ways to use sourdough discard. These are slightly tangy And even though they're made with whole wheat flour, they're super soft and fluffy.
To start this recipe, to a large bowl, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, a half teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to whisk my dry ingredients together and then add in 1 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and 1 cup of my whole wheat sourdough starter. But you could add in whatever type of sourdough starter you have on hand. Now normally I make this recipe with 2 eggs, but I had just run out, so I'm going to be adding in 1 mashed banana instead. Mashed banana is a great flavorful substitute for eggs in pancake batter. Now this pancake batter is ready to cook right away, but you could also do a longer fermentation time for the sourdough pancakes. If you want to ferment your pancake batter in the fridge overnight, just make sure to leave out the leaveners until the next day. Then you can sprinkle your baking powder and baking soda on top of the pancake batter in the morning. Then give it a gentle stir and let it sit about 5 minutes before cooking. I'm going to be making mine right away, and I've already preheated my pan to medium-low heat. I've added a little bit of butter to the bottom of the pan, and then I'm going to pour about a half cup of the batter into the bottom of the pan or griddle. Swirl your pancake batter gently to form the circle. And just like the other pancake recipes, I'm going to let it cook for about 2 minutes, or until I start to see all the little bubbles breaking on the surface and the corners are just starting to set. Flip the pancakes over and let them cook about 1 minute more on the other side.
Make sure when you're cooking your pancakes you're using a hot griddle or frying pan. And after cooking the first few pancakes, you're probably going to need to turn it down a little bit.
These pancakes are super light and fluffy. They also have that delicious sourdough tang and are honestly probably one of my favorite pancake recipes.
This is the ultimate sourdough discard breakfast recipe. And using whole wheat flour makes them a little heartier, healthier, and super cozy.
These are amazing served warm with a generous helping of maple syrup, fresh fruit, yogurt, or any of your favorite pancake toppings. And if you're a fan of baking with sourdough, this is one of the easiest ways to use up sourdough discard.
Next up, we're making the savory pancakes. These are sourdough cheese pancakes. If you've never had savory pancakes before, you've got to give these ones a try. They have little bits of crisp cheese on the outside with a soft and fluffy inside.
For this savory batter, I love cooking them in a waffle iron. It gives them that perfectly fluffy inside, and the outside has all those little bits of caramelized cheese on top. But this batter also works perfectly as pancakes. In a large bowl, I'm going to whisk together 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Add in 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to whisk this together and then mix in 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. But you could of course use your favorite type of grated cheese for this. I'm just going to toss the cheese into the dry ingredients. Then I'm going to gently mix in 1.5 cups of milk, 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and 1 cup of my sourdough starter. And I'm using, again, a whole wheat sourdough starter here, but you can use whatever type of sourdough starter you have on hand. Mix this until the batter just comes together. And just like the other sourdough pancake recipe, you can cook this batter right away, or you can let it sit in the fridge overnight for a longer fermentation. And if you've chosen to do the long fermentation option, make sure you leave out the baking powder until the next morning. Then you can mix it in fresh right before you want to cook the pancakes. Now I'm going to cook part of mine on a waffle iron, and I'm going to do half of them as pancakes. I have my waffle iron preheated and my pan preheated to medium-low heat. Brush each with a little bit of melted butter or oil, and then in batches cook the batter on the hot waffle iron or the hot pans until they're golden and the cheese is nicely caramelized on both sides.
If you're cooking a big batch of pancakes and you want to keep them warm, heat your oven to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit and put them on a tray to keep them warm inside.
And these savory waffles are ready to serve right away with your favorite toppings.
And since these pancakes are savory, they're perfect served with bacon, sausage. You can top them with fried egg, or you can make up your own filling like I'm going to show you here.
Some of our favorite ways to serve these waffles are with warm savory topping. Here I have a warm tomato sauce packed with ground meat and then topped with a generous helping of Parmesan cheese. Next I have this savory creamy chicken mixture that I've cooked down with some spinach and little dots of sun-dried tomatoes. For a really simple lunch version, we love just spreading on some cream cheese and slicing tomatoes on top with a simple dusting of salt and pepper. These are warm, satisfying, and another simple way of using up some sourdough discard. These come together super quickly and easily, and are a fun savory option to pancakes and waffles. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried savory pancakes or waffles before.
If you're looking for some amazing pancake topping ideas, the classic, of course, is some butter with maple syrup on top. Fresh fruit with whipped cream. You can also cook down your fruit to make it into a sauce. Some Nutella and bananas on top is another perfect choice. Or you can add some yogurt and honey with some fresh fruit on top. Pretty much the sky's the limit when it comes to pancake toppings. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite type of pancake is. Thanks so much for hanging out in the kitchen with me today, friends. I'll see you in the next video.